All right, this is my artistic review of the comic Skizz. Look at this front cover. I'm gonna bash this book a little. This is the best part of the whole thing. It's just this front cover here. Just very eye-grabbing. Look at this character, that's Skizz, obviously. Written by Alan Moore, a very famous writer. I don't know, Jim Bakey, 2000 AD. It's not Marvel, DC, it's whatever they were. Look at this character design though. He kind of looks like a kangaroo, kind of looks like an alien. He is an alien. Great design, great color. The comic is in black and white. We'll get into it in a second here, but man, that's just what grabbed my attention. I couldn't even flip through it when I bought it. It was in a plastic sheet. So this is all I had in the back here. Some reviews. There he is in kind of his outer space suit. Well, let's get into it, okay? Let's see. I don't know, is this the prettiest comic to look at? I don't think so. I don't mind the black and white. I read a lot of black and white stuff. It's just, you know, there's parts of it that are eye-catching, and there's parts that really aren't, in my opinion, almost too detailed. With such a great character, you almost want him displayed in simple scenes. Here's a decent one. I have this one marked. I kind of like this. Again, he's not a kangaroo. He's an alien, but he's looking like a kangaroo there. Okay. The other thing, let's see if I can find one. Yeah, here's a good example. I don't think this was a traditional comic book. I think this was printed in magazines, because each story is only 3 or 4 pages long, and then you don't have any cover pages. This is your cover here. You would jump back into the story. There's a little bit of retelling each time. You know, there's your credits here. So it's a magazine printing. Again, that's a cool design. I like that logo. I'd be interested in that logo, that story right there. Here he is with his helmet. More great design. People are good. I forget what this scene is, why there's wrestlers. He's watching wrestling, that's what it is. Well, let's talk about the story. You have Skizz crash land. He's in an interesting place. He lands in not New York, not Los Angeles, not London. He's in Birmingham, in the UK, which is an interesting place for a story. As an American, the only thing I know about that, I think Black Sabbath is from Birmingham. And he crash lands. He's lost, he needs help. He finds this girl, and she needs to take him home, take care of him, figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, he's being hunted by the government as a extraterrestrial. And they make comments throughout the comic about not being E.T., but this is E.T. This is E.T. It's not great storytelling. Here's your villain, you know? And then the girl teams up with some local hoodlums that she knows, and they help her save the day and all that. I won't spoil it. Hate this. I hate this. But what is that? What is that? Why does he look like that? Either keep the helmet on or draw him to look more like that. I know he looks like a Star Wars figure. I just hated that. Okay. Here's a compliment I'll give to this story. I like these. These are just dialogue boxes, but they're not so traditional. You just have the head so you know who's speaking, and you know, the dramatic pacing, I guess, is what this is, but it's also easier for the artist. It catches your eye. I like that, and that's sprinkled throughout. That's just one example. Just a big head kind of bursting out of the scene. Here's another fun scene, another compliment. At some point, he is captured and put in prison by the government, the agency, whatever. The bad guy's all happy. It's all mine. I didn't mention this earlier, but he's an alien translator. He can speak thousands of languages from all over the galaxy, whatever. So when they trap him, they teach him English using this here. And I like this. It's a twist on it, right? Because throughout the prior story, he's kind of communicating through single words and everything, but since he's such a smart alien, he's a translator, it takes him no time at all to learn the English language, and then the rest of the way, You know, it's kind of fun. Spoiler: he meets back up with his friend, the girl, the main character, and they can speak fluent English to each other, that's kind of a nice touch that I don't think it makes sense in the context. Okay, so there's the compliments. We'll get here. It all culminates in this big final scene where the girl, I don't even remember her name. I read this last week in one sitting and just kind of plowed through it. The girl and her gang, they capture him. They're escaping. They're being chased, and it culminates in this. Right, is this boiling point. You see this background here with all the characters chasing him down. She's trying to save him. He's trying to kill him. They're trying to capture him, and his home planet returns, or his home planet sends a ship to save him, and that's what that is. You can see it's the end of the book here. Then he says his goodbyes, and he goes home. Terrible. Hate that. That's a good scene. Kind of the big goofball character, sidekick. They become buddies at the end. That's a touching scene. You'll be as outraged if you read this, but they kiss? They kiss goodbye? Is it just an English thing that I'm not aware of? Is that, I don't know. I think a hug would do there. And there he goes. Okay, more read. 82,000 books. Not a great book. Love this cover. I would buy this as a poster to display, but there's not great storylines. I'm not a huge fan of this artwork, the very hyper detailed looks. You can tell it's very 80s. I don't know. All that cross-hatching? I don't know. Be curious if you've heard of this comic. Tell me what you think in the comments. Maybe you liked it and I'm just not seeing it.